is given by the 11th Regional Olive Udall Joseph Eliezer Sitzmann. Just something you guys can all look out for. The last 6 weeks I've chose a word of the week, and I tried to put each word of the week in. So I have some big bombastic words that don't really. Anyways, you guys can look out for them. Al Sagan, my brother Al's, my sister Benet with girls. GMR. When I look into this crowd, it confuses me. This wasn't the GMR that was here last year. I do not see the same region, with the same chapters and the same people as were here last year. A transformation has been made. I used to always say, GMR, here we are. Although it gives me great pride to see how much momentum this slogan has picked up, I think this occasion calls for something new. Here we are implies that we're standing still. It shows a lack of movement. Now don't get me wrong, I love my slogan, but GMR, we are going far. Call it quirky, call it cliche, you can even call it asinine, but at the end of the day, GMR, we're going far. Both the successes and failures that I've seen on the chapter and regional level this year has poised the Great Midwest region to really raise its standards. Every year the regional Gedolim come up here and say something about how we've got all this potential. And frankly, they're right. But what I see in the future is a newfound potential. On the international level, BBYO is changing, and it's changing fast. We're seeing more initiatives being implemented. Our numbers are astronomically high, and the difference our members are making in the world is more profound than ever. Right now, on the regional level, we're jumping right on board with this rapid level of success. This year has given me a great sense of fulfillment, seeing how resilient our region can be while still maintaining an incredible level of productivity. After setting sail for our biggest kickoff yet, we went to this year's YLTC in Kala, where we saw record-breaking numbers for both AZA and BBG. I was overly impressed with the coordinators Ben, Edmund, Colin, and Daniel. YLTC empowered more members than it ever has. The AATs were engaged and active. Despite Kala being a newly developed convention in our region, this year we saw much improved attendance and the programming was truly meaningful. Jumping to winter break, we had a wildly successful Rocket Bash, the first of its kind, raising over $500 for the region. As the hectic month of the invite prep as the hectic month of finals came to an end, GMR blew me away with this year's invite. Props to D-Way and Big Mall. Last year, there were 4 AZA chapters competing. This year, there were 6 chapters competing. Shout out to Hagana AZA for taking the victory. I'm still mystified as to how you guys pulled off that talent. This year, International Convention in DC, some may know it as ICDC, was a rather stressful time in my life, but seeing nearly 50 members from GMR in attendance quelled that stress. Last year, we had around 25 members go to IC. We doubled our attendance in just 1 year. Suffice it to say, people know who GMR is. We are no longer that little region in Illinois that no one knows about. We are a big deal, and we're en route to have a gargantuan presence in the international order. Lots of people will toss around powerhouse regions like Nassau-Suffolk region, NRE, CRW, etc. Next year, your job as a region is to get us on that list, and you're already halfway there. I'm proud to note that this year we had some of the highest attendance for martial living among the entire order. And here we are today at GMR Spring Convention, and holy cow, I am taken aback by our attendance. Last year, there were 0 members from Maya BBYO, and this year 5. Last year, Ain't So BBG didn't even exist, and now there are 5 members here. Last year, we saw 1 member from Palma, and before my eyes, I see 9. If that's not success, then I don't know what is. I keep talking about all these regional things, but what about the chapters? Serving with the chapters this year as Regional Gadol has been an informative and rewarding experience. I think all the chapters have definitely had their highs and their lows. Barney Ross, this year we have seen your best numbers at regional events in recent history. You've grown to be a tight-knit group of guys and know how to have some fun. Your long-serving Gadol, Mike Sugar, is going off to college next year, so it's time for new leadership to step up and take the reins of the chapter. As long as you keep the fervor alive in your chapter and focus on membership, you will continue to grow as a strong chapter in the region. Omete Zie, my home and my heart. This year has been a bumpy year for you guys. I think the excitement of starting a new chapter has caught up to you guys and it required an adjustment period. Right now, your chapter stands as one of the largest chapters in the region, which is really something to be proud of. But where have these guys been for the last 6 months? Paper members don't make a strong chapter. Make sure you guys bring that excitement back for AZA that I know all of you have. Ben Hirschman, you did a very solid job and led the chapter to second place at their chapter's first ever invite, which stands as a testament to the chapter's abilities. The AIT education I have seen Zach LeVay build has been incredible and will surely guide the chapter's future. Shabak AZA, this year you guys grew more than your chapter ever has in its history. David Chasnow, your rapid recruitment in the fall was remarkable, getting what seemed like 1 million members in just a couple weeks. But guys, why aren't these members here today? Your chapter has access to some of the most densely populated Jewish areas in Chicago. I'm really proud to see all the growth you guys have made, because right now, your chapter is extremely more self-sufficient than the beginning of the year, and D-Way, you did a great job leading the chapter. Armin Hammer, this year may have not started off the way you guys wanted, but you guys adapted to your situations and did some truly amazing things. I'm seeing the best fundraising in the region come from your chapter. Good work to Jason Pizer. Your chapter is on the brink of being the very strong chapter that it used to be. Colin Silverman, you have steadily built up a strong foundation for your chapter. Now, Hammer, you make sure you're following up with your prospects. I'm eager to see hate play out at our Camp Bieber, which is a really awesome thing, and what you guys will do with the opportunities for you in the near future. Haganah, the camaraderie that your chapter has grown to develop is truly remarkable. You guys have implemented some very strong programming and initiatives. When I think of a chapter that best embodies the traditions of AZA, I always jump to Haganah. Next year, you will be losing a very strong senior class. It's going to take dedication to keep the excitement alive. Go out and recruit like crazy and you'll see lots of success in the future. I would like to thank Natty and Jordan for being stupendous Gedolian for the chapter. Getting the Henry Monsky Award is a huge achievement. Palma, wow. Last year 1 and now 9. You guys speedily acquired your first charter and not shortly after you achieved your second charter. No longer will you be that numberless chapter, you are a pivotal component to the GMR community. As you guys develop your chapter, enjoy yourselves. Take pride in your chapter and focus on improving in all areas to become a true powerhouse. Coming from the city, your opportunities are endless. I would like to commend Adam Shaw for his tireless efforts to bring Palmach where it is today. Mayan BBYO. Isaac and Zach, it takes a lot of courage to represent the AZA side of your chapter. I commend your work thus far, and I urge you to keep building Mayan up. You guys are doing a really awesome job, and I can't wait to see where you guys are going to go. So some of you may know that I'm a big sucker for inspirational quotes. I'm guilty as charged. I would like to recite a quote that I think adequately encompasses my vision for the chapters in GMR. This is by Apple. Some of you may know it. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs and the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify them, or vilify them. But the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change the world. They change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Guys, next year is a new generation of GMR. We are phasing out the old and in with the new. You are the new. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to resort to the old, boring programs and settle for mediocrity? Or will you break the barriers for possibilities? There is nothing restricting you from pulling off those crazy things. The only thing standing in your way is you. Don't be afraid to dream big and commit, because that's how GMR is going straight to the top. GMR, we're going far. Serving this year would not have been the experience it was without such a strong support system. First, I would like to thank the 11th Regional Board. This year, a ton of our ideas manifested themselves into tangible successes. We all agree that this year was bumpy and filled with curveballs, and I think that's the greatest life lesson that there is. To the AZA Board, thank you for being patient with me and helping me fit in my role. I'm confident that we have left a future with a strong region that can be greatly expounded upon. Counterparts, as I've already noted, you guys did a lot of work. Chapters are what guide not only GMR, but the Aleph Sadiq Aleph, and your contributions made it all possible. Jessica, This year, you came in new and unexpected for what was to come. It's safe to say that the regional board did not always make things easy for you, but you've done a truly remarkable job. GMR is like one big family, and I'm confident to call you the mother of GMR. In a good way, of course. You've brought new ideas and adapted to our ways. You've been flexible and responsive. I can't thank you enough for dedicating your time to work with us. You will always have a place in the GMR family, and I'm confident leaving the region with you as director. Advisors, you rock. I can't thank you enough for the time you volunteered to help drive this organization. I appreciate you a lot. Mom, Dad, Sam, this year has been a pretty hectic year for me. We hardly saw each other during the weeks, but nonetheless, I always had your unconditional support, and I love you guys. Sam, I'm so happy to see you finding your way in AZA, and I can't wait to see what unique journey you decide to take. Jennifer, well, I don't think I could have asked for a more perfect co. I can be pretty difficult to work with sometimes, and she never gave up on me. Summing up the words for the last 12 months serving with you is nearly impossible, so to express myself, I decided to write a poem for you, and I have some visual aid to help the process. Performing together has been splendid. Sorry. Reaching for success we did achieve. Oh, how well we blended, making GMR the place to be. Perfectly united. I love being your beau. Really, I just want to thank you. Ostriches and chartreuse with Jen and Joe. My heart hopes you love me too. Please listen to my rhyme. Radiant and gorgeous, yes you are. Only you are worth my time. Maybe it's because you're such a star. Possibly you will say yes. Possibly you will say yes. Really, I'm kind of nervous. On May 18th, where you have a dress, maybe you could do me this service. Oh, so I have a multiple choice question. Please respond, of course, maybe not. That's what we go to prom.